Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sunny Coast very own podcast called the Referral Wave. My name's Tony Cross, and by day, I've got a business called Drive Connect where we're a car buyers advocate. But today, I'm with the famous Simon James, and we're going to talk all things photography and the national conference. So, welcome along, Simon.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
No worries at all. Now, we're going to get to that background image sooner rather than later. But first off, tell us about how long you've been in BNI and what led you to joining BNI.
I've been in BNI almost 8 years. I was at a friend's birthday party and I'd not heard of BNI at all. And somebody asked me, what do I do? And we got talking and they mentioned this thing called in-person networking. And I'm like, well, that sounds intriguing. I should come along. Sure. Got an invite, went along the next week or so. With my little piece of paper, I knew I had a little intro to do. And I was like, oh, hanging on to this piece of paper, shaking nervously. Got through that first experience and saw this is something, this is a thing. This could really work for my business. So I went back the next week and put in an application. Was accepted, and I wish I'd found networking 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
good for my business.
correct.
And
Now,
today, after 8 years of being in the system and thoroughly enjoying it, I wonder why there's not a photographer and a videographer in every chapter all over Australia, all over the world. It is so good for my business, and I've been tried to encourage all the people that I know that are photographers, videographers, to come along. And they're like, "Oh, it's too early. It's this, it's that, it's that." So, okay, more work for me to do. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, more for me.
Yeah.
Now, we were just recently at the national conference in Sydney. You live close to there, I believe. What chapter are you in down there?
I'm actually Melbourne based.
Oh, you Melbourne based. Sorry,
I'm
my
Melbourne based.
apologies.
That's no,
My
quite all right.
apologies.
Yes, I'm Melbourne based. And if I've got work Brisbane, Sydney, Adelaide, then I'll drive. Love a road trip. I'll just put all my gear in the car
Yeah,
and
cool.
drive. And if it's Cairns or Western Australia, then I'll tap into a local photographer in the BNI network and say, "Hi, my name is. I'd love to borrow some of your gear if I can while I'm up there."
Ah, right. Okay.
Because I'll set up a studio in my hotel room and I'll do a bunch of portraits for people,
Yeah,
sort of after hours after we've done conference days and
yeah,
that sort of stuff as well. Yeah. And
yeah.
Melbourne's
Okay.
home base.
Yeah. Ah, that's yeah. So that's easy. So you're sort of using the BNI network in a way to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
fantastic.
collaboration and there is more than enough work for everybody with the mind. Yeah, that growth mindset as opposed to no mind, 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 mind.
Yeah, correct. So that said, tell us a bit about, I know photography is a very broad term, but tell us a bit about what you actually do, like what you specialize in, what you like doing. Tell us a bit about your business.
Yep. People. That is my passion. That is my skill set. It could be manufacturing, fabrication, education, agriculture, professional services, across industries, but it's the people that I enjoy photographing because every business has humanoids doing a thing,
Yep.
providing a service for other humanoids. And that's where we will connect to our next client by showing and
Yep.
telling our personal story within that business. That's what I really, really love to do. I love doing family portraits and I still love doing a wedding, champagne in this hand, camera in that hand. And the humanity that we all carry with us is the thing that we need to step into, I feel, to really connect us genuinely to our next client. Corporate headshot, looking at the camera, giving a big smile or whatever it is okay. But why don't we do a flip photo? I love to crochet. I'm a marathon runner. I love to bake or whatever it is that we like to do personally. Show that it will help connect us to our clients better. So for me, humanity, humans, empowering the people that I photograph and connecting them to their world personally and professionally all day long. Love it.
Yeah, right. Excellent. Now that leads me into my next thing because I was privileged enough before we recorded this to see a couple of pictures that you've taken of Ivan around the traps in the BNI Global Conference because you were Ivan's personal photographer for the week. And I like, and seeing those pictures that you're 100% right. That is your passion because some of those photos, and even the ones I've seen you take at national conference, but they are, you're right. It just drags the person out of like the zone, so to speak, and makes it a bit personal. Can you talk us through that experience following around Ivan for a week?
Absolutely. It's something I've wanted to do. Again, it's that pre-visualization going, oh, Ivan at Global, that would be such a beautiful story to tell. And so I've photographed six national conferences here in Australia.
Yep.
And I've got to know the owners of the BNI franchises around Australia really well. And I was just tapping them on the shoulder saying, who do you know in Ivan's camp? Who do you know in Ivan's camp? Give them a little whisper, Simon James, Simon James, Simon James. And then that was successful in that they then wanted me to do a quote to photograph the whole event for Global. That's not what I
Yep.
really wanted to do. I wanted to do this personal project with Ivan, which clearly I got to do. But all those little whispers about Simon James, when I was speaking to Frederick and saying, I'd really like to do this, he's like, that's intriguing. Leave it with me. We had lots of conversations backwards and forwards, and he said, right, give me a short, sharp, what it is you want to achieve, and I'll get that in front of Ivan. He did, and Ivan's response was, sounds fun. That's it. Sounds fun. Let's do it. So I then met Simon McGuinness, and who was Ivan's sort of handler over the global event. And we were chatting away. He was just sussing out what I'm doing and what I'm wanting to do and where are these photos going to be used and all that sort of stuff. And then unbeknownst to me, Phil Berg was behind me, who I'd met at Brisbane last year. So
Yep.
then he's come up behind me and he's put his arms around me, gave me a big hug, and he goes, how's my favorite Australian photographer? And then Simon just relaxed and went, oh, right, let's go up and meet Ivan. So again, the BNI system is about building relationships. So I spent some time with Phil. I took some great shots of him that he's now using today in his presentations. And bizarrely, the little bit of time and effort I put in to that relationship with Phil, creating some nice photos that I gave to him, led to him in that moment coming up behind me, knowing who I was and giving me a hug. That then just instantly relaxed Simon, going, okay, Simon's safe. Let's go meet Ivan. And from that point on, I got to spend the week with Ivan and hung out in his room. I was there while he's having dinner by himself. There was private dinner parties at the hotel room, and just photographing life from his perspective over that week. And the gratitude and the thanks that all of these BNI members just shower upon Ivan. They are so thankful for what he has created because it has elevated their businesses to just the next level and the next level. It was just a week of smiling and watching Ivan interacting with these people and seeing how excited these people were waiting for their turn to get a selfie or to have a signature on a book or something. It was joyous. It's just joyous. And I got to create that portfolio of images and tell that story of Ivan at Global, which was just creative, just so fulfilling. But it also ticked the boxes of this, made me very visible and gave me a lot of credibility to be, as you kindly introduced, sort of saying I was Ivan's private photographer for Global. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I gather if the guy's letting you into his room when he's having dinner of a night, take some background shots, I reckon that's good enough to be personal photographer. So, but I have asked this already off air, but super personable, super approachable, lovely guy as he comes across when you listen to his stories.
Absolutely. He is a knockabout larrikin guy.
Yeah,
He's just so real, so genuine. He has time for everybody if Simon gives him the
yeah,
time, because Simon was
yeah,
watching the time. Ivan would stand there and just talk to people. I've got a photo of Ivan who is standing there with a huge, big, long line of people going right round the corner, waiting for their turn. And he's just patiently there, shaking hands, taking photos, signing books over and over and over and over again. And he is just so grateful and thankful that all of these people see the vision that he had 40 years ago for how
Mm.
BNI is today. And the legacy that's been left behind, that's something that he sort of has spoken to me about, is that global to him is just the ongoing legacy of this crazy idea he had many decades ago. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, well, if you jump on and listen to some of his early podcasts and about how he started it up, it was just literally like, 10 or so people in a room and a written out agenda by hand. And, he still professes to have that original agenda, bit of paper in his office, and away it went. So I guess just like all of us, he started somewhere and built what his dream was into this great multinational, company. So yeah, fantastic. Would have been a great honour to do that, mate. So congratulations.
Oh, yeah, really was. Thanks. Yeah.
Righto, let's move on back to local waters. And we're here to talk about the national conference.
Mhm.
Um, I've said it to you in Sydney, and also said it again today that you're a machine at those things. You just run around and you pop up everywhere, and then you come home and you're looking at the photos that you post online. You're thinking, how did he get there, and how did he get there? So, obviously, again, rewarding for you, but a lot of work. Talk us through. I want to talk about your BNI as a member experience at conferences because obviously you've seen a lot and got to know a lot of speakers. But first of all, just you talk to us a little bit about what's involved for you at a national conference from a professional point of view doing your job.
So I have got a really beautiful relationship with Avi and Justine, and they're the two drivers that organise Global. And I help them as much as I possibly can. So I will get to not global, to national conference, sorry, like the Monday beforehand. So in Sydney, I was there on the Tuesday night. Avi and Justine and I were in the goodie bag packing area. And I've helped with the last four conferences in packing the bags. So this year, Justine tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, can you manage and run that?" I went, "Sure, love to."
Cool.
I've done it a number of times. And that is where the connections start. That's where I'm
Yeah.
starting to connect with new people, or reconnecting with people. Shivani from WA, he's often there helping pack up bags up. So that's for me the start of all of the connections that I'm growing over national. So that's 4 or 5 hours packing the bags and getting those organized. The mega chapter meeting, I'm there first thing in the morning, I'm photographing people. Something that I really try to do in the first day or two of conference is pick up on, okay, there's two people that have come from Brisbane, and now there's two people from Adelaide that have come. Right, you four, here's a photo. I'll get them together, create a nice photo for them, and then say, happy connecting. And then at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I'm seeing those four people still hanging out together and forming fantastic relationships. So I really try to be that sort of conduit for connecting people in the first couple of days. That's
Yeah.
where you're a bit nervous and you're not quite sure. So I really enjoy doing that. And then that makes me very visible because I put these connections together, just random
Yeah.
people, like there's people, like, come on, here's a photo, here's a photo. Or I might grab four people from this side of the room and take them over that side of the room and say, I reckon you guys have got some really good conversations to be had. I've heard you talking over the last couple of days. I think there's there's business to be done here. Take a photo of them, and then leave them chatting. And then they
You've
stay
done it to
chatting.
me. Yeah, yeah, you've done it to me. I've been standing randomly and you've grabbed someone and gone here, get a photo together. Then you end up standing there and talking to them. So yeah,
Yeah. It just breaks that ice a little bit. So that's like a little secret superpower that I make sure I tap into for those first couple of days.
yeah,
And if I see somebody that's standing there by themselves, I guess I'm being a bit of a visitor host, I guess.
yeah.
I will, pop them into a group of three. If I see a very tight group of three people that are like just really into their own conversation, they're not open to letting other people in. I'm like, come on, guys, you know better than that. Stop it. Here's somebody else new for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, and I love the way you do that because yeah, you're right. It just does. And if you look around the room, you can see you swanning around doing that. So yeah, it's a great idea. So Let's talk about what people can expect out of the national conference. Again,
Yeah.
you've been to eight, you know the speakers. In talking the other day to someone I interviewed, we were talking about what the speakers actually give up, in terms of information. So,
Mm.
just what's your feedback on takeaways from the amount of conferences you've seen?
So BNI National is the best of the best of the networkers.
Yeah.
So if your referral partner is not in the room, there are people that are going to know that referral partner that is going to change your business life. Um, a member down here in Melbourne for the cans. So when was that? 2 years ago. He was asking me, "Oh, should I go? Should I go? I'm not sure." He's a valuation company of properties and that sort of thing. I said, "Absolutely, you should go. Absolutely, you should go." So he, bit the bullet and bought a ticket, and up he went. And on the first night, he met a couple of people and went out and had a few drinks and social, and it was all wonderful and lovely. Da da da. And then by lunch on the second day, one of the people that he had met actually said to him, "I've been holding out on you. I know your dream referral. I was the best man at his wedding."
Oh,
He has made hundreds of thousands of dollars from that. And he, like, every time I see him, he's hugging on me, going, "Oh God, man, I can't thank you enough. You made me just get out of my own way and go to this thing." So there's stories like that at every national conference. If your
mm,
referral partner isn't there, somebody's going to know that referral partner you are really looking for. So that's the BNI system. The speakers across the days are giving such awesome business information. There's BNI focused information to be had as well, but there is just growth for ourselves, for our businesses within the speakers. And they are all so generous. They are all givers gain at heart. And they are so
mm.
generous with the information that they share with the room.
Yeah, yeah, correct. And we were talking before about the booklet that you get, and just even the printed material in that booklet and what those speakers have given up and putting on paper.
Yeah.
You're paying a lot of money to have sessions with those speakers outside of that room to get that
Mm.
information. But here they are for a couple of days, not only putting it in print, but talking about it and then leaving themselves available in the foyer outside where you have lunch and you meet all the sponsors and stuff, then having themselves available for chats.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I know givers gain gets thrown around a lot in BNI, but you're right, it is nearly the ultimate givers gain experience, isn't it?
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and you've been to eight conferences now.
There's six, I think. Melbourne, Sydney, couldn't get to Adelaide for COVID, so then that was Western Australia, and then Cairns, Brisbane, Sydney. So yeah, six.
Yeah, fantastic.
And
Yeah,
so the first three that I did, Melbourne, Sydney, and then Western Australia, I had no ask.
mm,
I saw the value in getting to know the EDs and the owners of the BNI franchise around the country
yeah,
because I can do what I do across the country. Now, I love photographing large national logistic companies and large accounting firms, and it's just a bigger story. And there's more
mm,
people, and there's just more to do, and I love that. So I got to know the EDs. And then when Cairns came around, I then reached out to those EDs and said, "Hey, would anybody like some special, beautiful portraiture at National Conference in Cairns?" And I had six EDs sort of put in the hands and go, "Yes, yes, 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 yes." And so I'd photographed three of them before they started doing their ED training day. And then again, I definitely use the system to my advantage. I then sent the finished images that I'd spent most of the night retouching, and then I sent them through to the phones. I sent one person their photos. Bing went their phone, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my god, this is oh wow!" And then the story then goes in the room. The trainer who was taking that whatever was going on there was like, "Okay, what's going on? What's all the hub? What's happening?" Simon James just sent me through the photos and did, okay, pass it around the room. Oh, and then I waited a little while and then I sent the next person's being, "Oh, my photos." Righto, stop, show everybody the photos. So,
nice.
you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
I give to the system because the system gives me so, so, so much.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And so then from Cairns to then Brisbane, to then Sydney. And I've had the privilege of photographing Wendy a number of times now. And we had such fun on the day that we did shots of her. And, I got her to change her outfit a number of times and people are picking up on it. And I've had the photo of her surfing the crowd in my mind for 4 years. And I
Yeah.
said, Wendy, is this the year? Is this the year? Is this the year? And this year she said, okay, fine. What's this photo going to look like? We created it, got a bunch of people to help surf her. And when I showed it in the back of the camera, she went, oh, you're right.
Well, she's the rock and roll queen, and it became a running joke with it because I just kept saying to her she changed, and then I did ask her. I said, "You changed again," and that was about the fifth, sixth time I'd done it. And she goes, "This is my crowd surfing outfit," and I just blew it off and went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you wish or whatever." Anyway, bugging me dead. It was actually yeah, it was actually for that, and
Yeah.
yeah, and she does a great keynote rock and roll networking, and she did that one in Brisbane, and
Yes.
yeah, so it fits well with what she does and her band and her singing and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, great idea.
Yeah. And I think that's a bit of a superpower. I guess the first biggest superpower I has is I hate having my photo taken as much as people, that I'm photographing. So I've got empathy for them. I just don't like being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I can just think through the person that I'm photographing and what it is that the messaging they need to get across is, and just have that pre-visualization of what that image could be. I've done a
Mm,
shot recently for John Anderton, who does offshore staffing. So I had this image in my mind of photographing John wearing a suit with an old laptop in the water. So we did these shots of him actually getting slammed by these waves and calm waters as well. And it has just elevated him so much that he's getting comments from all over the world going, wow, I love this. I love this. This is just so good, so good. So yeah, I love it when my little crazy thoughts, really pull something together that is epic.
yeah, that's great, and that's what stands out from the rest of the people.
Mm.
So what's next for your business? Obviously, you've got all your quirky ideas and everything, but any new projects on the horizon or
I'm always like new project wise, I'm always doing stuff personally as well. Like it's my passion, it's my hobby, it's my profession with photography. So I really love photographing primary producers and farmers.
yeah.
My parents are up northeastern Victoria. I'll go up there. I'll tap into the network that I've got up there and find an 88-year-old sheep farmer that his father built the shearing shed, and now his sons have extended the shearing shed. And it's just got generational stories and
Mm,
character. So I'm always doing that kind of work. I love stopping, standing, sitting still, and actually talking to people that are, homeless. So there's a homeless charity that I support called We Are Mobilise. And I go into the city. If I'm just feeling a little bit flat myself, I'm like, right, I'm going to grab my camera, go into the city, talk to some people I know or don't know on the streets. Some will allow me to take a photo of them, some don't. That's totally fine. But I just enjoy that connection with all members of society. Like we all matter or nobody matters.
yeah.
So I love connecting with them. And maybe, they'll let me take a photo. So I will, highlight their story a little bit that I've learned, and just ask the world to be kind. Like, look down and say hello. Don't look down and then, oh, scurry past. Like, just say
Yeah.
hi. Hope you're okay. Hope
Mm,
you're warm tonight. Hope you sleep okay. I hope you're safe tonight, or whatever. So projects, they're the personal stuff that I love doing. Work wise, I'm heading up to Brisbane shortly for a client, and she's in the marketing space. So I've photographed a lot of her clients, and now she's like, right, now it's my turn. I've seen this amazing work you've done for all of my clients. I want it now. I need the Simon James magic, which is really like, humbling and
yeah, that's good.
yeah. So yeah,
So
there's always fun projects.
So on your website, obviously it tells us what you do and everything, but on your website, does it give an indication of where you're going? Because the thought I had then was if I knew you were coming to Brisbane, do you announce that somewhere so people can go, hey, while you're up here, do you want to do this for me? Do you have anything like that in place?
I reach out to my network like one to one personally.
Yeah.
I don't have, I'm the world's best photographer. This is a big confession here. World's best photographer. Business, I'm okay at it. But I'm there for the creativity and the storytelling. That's what sustains me. That's what fulfills me. I could do so much more, things for my own business. I could automate things. I could, CRM. I could. I should. I will. There we go. I'll change that.
Cool.
So no, it's I don't, I don't announce that, I'm up to here, I'm who's there, who's got needs.
Yeah.
I will tap into all the people that I know, like Justine and Avi, and people like Michelle Watt up in Brisbane, and the
Yeah.
people that I've met at all the nationals. I will say, hey, I'm coming up for a client who has needs. So when I was in Brisbane for the conference, I photographed some heavy manufacturing companies. I photographed a fine art nude portrait. I photographed some family portraits, a whole range of work.
Yeah.
So as I know that I've got clients that are like kind of interested for me to be somewhere, then I will use the BNI network to bring in
Yeah.
more so that I'm driving up there not just for one client, but I'm going for five.
Yeah. For a few.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Now let's just in sort of wrapping up. Um, Melbourne's next year, national conference. I know we talked about what you get out of it and what to expect, but just a quick recap there on what people can expect out of Melbourne if they're tossing up whether to come or not.
Yeah, look, if you're tossing up whether to go to national or not, come. It will add so much to your business. You will take away so much for your business. You will take away a lot personally as well. That's one of the beautiful things about the BNI community is that I joined because I saw the um, ability to get referrals, and I was an okay member for the first 6, 8 months. Where's my referrals? Grr, ah. Um, you know, typical sort of
Yeah.
story. Then the penny dropped. It's like, oh, I see what this is all about now. I get this. And then being able to give to get. So if you're on the fence whether or not to go to national, let me push you over the fence. Come to national. It's the best of the best, like I said before, networkers. You will connect with people. You will, on a national stage, you will connect with, I love connecting with all the other photographers that go because then
Mm.
that grows my network so that when I'm going to Cairns, I can tap into that, or I'm going to Western Australia, I can tap into that. So don't be afraid to connect with the people that have the same category as you, because possibly there's an opportunity there to refer. You're in Brisbane, I'm in Melbourne. Maybe I've got a client that's got a thing that they just need desperately and urgently, or I'm a conveyancer, or I'm, law or accounting, or I'm an auditor, and I love meeting accountants from around Australia that don't do auditing. There is so much depth and wealth of knowledge and information and relationships to start at national, and they will continue on, and it will just tenfold your business. And
And
those that
that's
are
what I say
thinking of being
to
a
people.
sponsor as well, be a sponsor, be an in-kind sponsor. The value is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great the way they have the lunches and the sponsors booths around. Yeah, definitely good for business. The What I was going to say there was the oh yeah, that's right. I always say to people on the Sunshine Coast, especially on the Sunshine Coast, right? Because post COVID, every person in Australia nearly would know someone that's moved to the Sunshine Coast, thinking of moving to the Sunshine Coast, bought an investment property or a parent moved. So, sometimes you think that, oh, I'm such and such on the Sunshine Coast, what would be in it for me? Well, as you said, loads of personal development to start with,
Yes.
loads of business development, though it doesn't, that you can take that home with you. But I've found even myself, the amount of contacts that I've made in other states to help get business done has been
Yep.
off the chart. So just because you think you're a location specific here in sunny Sunshine Coast, well, it's raining today, but sunny Sunshine Coast, doesn't you should not put off going down, should you?
No, no, it's so that's that limiting mindset. So we're human. It's very easy to, you know, think small.
Yep.
So wash that one away. Um, think nationally. Think we go into our BNI chapter meetings not knowing the visitors that are in the room. Then we ask for a referral request saying, I'm looking to connect with Stuart Little from Stuart Little Accounting. And then a visitor comes up to you after the meeting going, he's my next door neighbor. You
Mm.
just don't know. Apply the same sort of thinking to the national conference. You just don't know. I'm in Melbourne. I know a bunch of people up on the Sunshine Coast or Brisbane or around Australia. And if I know that you're a conveyancer and the conveyancing laws are slightly different, I'm making stuff up now. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's slightly different in Queensland compared to Melbourne, and maybe the conveyancers I know down here have got a client that they need specialised work up there. You
Yep.
just don't know who knows who.
Yeah.
So come to National with that open growth mindset, and you will leave after a few days going, wow, why is this the first one I'm coming to and not the third?
Yeah. No, fantastic. All right. In closing, I always ask everyone what their favorite BNI core value is.
Building relationships.
Yep.
Building relationships got me into this guy.
I've been looking at him toasting me the glass of champagne for the last 30 minutes. I tell you, it's enough to drive a man to drink. Um, No, look, fantastic, Simon. As I said, we've crossed paths a couple of times, but it was great to have a chat to you pre this, and obviously doing the podcast. I love your energy. I love what you do. Those the photos you take are amazing and really capture the event. So, thanks for the great words for everyone listening to about getting a national. And if we don't cross paths before Melbourne, I'll definitely be seeing you down there.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thanks for your time.